So the Bend 500 is over and done with, and I don't want to talk about the race in this wee video. I want to talk about the whole overall experience of the people that went there. This is coming from someone that's approximately this many Ks away from Tailem Bend. But as a venue that's hosting the 500k Enduro for the first time, it needed to hit it out of the park straight away, and has it? They set a record crowd for people at the Bend. The number was 47,034, so just over 47,000 people went to the Bend in the weekend, last weekend. Now you might think that is a very good number for something like this, but that number is honestly might be a little bit muddled because I've heard mixed reports about how they count that. I've heard some reports saying that the number is scanned based on how many tickets that are scanned. So for example, if you have a whole weekend where you went Friday, Saturday and Sunday and you got your tickets scanned 3 times, you're counted as 3 people attending the event. Which honestly is a tiny bit dodgy, if I have to use that really. But there's also been claims that people haven't been scanned as well. So who knows, there could have been 50,000 actual people there, but bugger all people got scanned in. But then there were some other issues with the event. Now I'm going to go over the negatives, the positives, and what I think they should do in future events for this race. Firstly, I'm going to go over the negatives because they're the most loud opinions on people. If you've got 95% of people talking positively, the 5% of negative people are going to be the loudest. But parts of the track did look empty. That's the issue with having such a long circuit. You're going to be spread out. A bit different to when they ran the 500 at Sandown in Queensland. It looked like there was a lot of people there because a lot of people were condensed in a tiny area. I mean, look at Queensland. Listening to the Apex Hunters last podcast as I record this, Scott Poe was talking about the fact that he and Will Brown, the defending champion, had appearances cancelled because of a lack of people there. That's saying something, that Will Brown can't even attract enough people to have appearances on Saturday and Sunday. And I've heard anything outside the track, accommodation is shit. You've got camping and caravan parks there, which is good. The track hotel, which I assume was taken up mainly by team members, is apparently $200 a night, which is a lot for Australia. Anything close to Tailem Bend is 15 to 30 minutes away, and even then, if you can't get anything there, your next best is probably Adelaide, an hour away. And unfortunately, with how it is being the 500, it's so close to the Adelaide Grand Finale, where you've got 2 events in South Australia in the span of almost 3 months. It's 2025. The cost of living crisis can't keep that up. People are going to more likely choose Adelaide, where it's the grand finale, it's closer to where you live if you're in Adelaide or flying into Adelaide, than you would do Tailem Bend, honestly. But what are some of the positives to this? Well, the big major one from what I've heard is if you've got a GA ticket, so just the stock standard ticket, you get so much viewing. I've heard stories of you can go up to the top of viewing towers and you can see a lot of the track. And if they were using a different layout of the circuit, I'll get to that later, you could have seen the whole track. And when I was talking to Let's Talk Motorsports, who gave me a lot of information, especially when it comes to the accommodation, by the way, so shout out to them. They paid $80 a ticket for their Sunday, and they got all the things that they got in there. And if you go to their social media pages, you'll see what they got to be given. Finally, what is my solution to making this event great? Because don't forget, we've got 3 more years of this. So what can the Shahins and the people at the Bend Motorsport Park, or Shelvipau Motorsport Park, do to make this more grand than the grand finale? Firstly, simple fix, you've got to fix the accommodation. You can't be driving from Adelaide to Tailem Bend if you're going to go to more than 1 day, because otherwise you'll be doing 4 hours just to get there and back if you just go for the weekend. Secondly, use the West Circuit. It's better for passing, it's better for viewing, and yes, you miss out on the back parts of the circuit, that long right-hander, but honestly, what are you missing out on aside from drivers going off the track, losing a couple of spots and then coming back on. It's not like that spot has an increased chance of safety car, because it doesn't really. And I've got a few additions that I want to make if I was the event organiser and trying to get everything together. Firstly, drag racing should be at that weekend. Whether or not it's at Friday night, Saturday night, I don't care. It should be a spectacle where you want to stay for the evening for something. Include the drag racing into their ticket. And what are some of the support categories that I would put at this event? It needs to be appetising. Especially compared to the Adelaide Grand Finale, there needs to be some sort of magnet pulling you to this event compared to Adelaide, where most championships will end and it's a street circuit. Firstly, I keep TCR World Tour. That was honestly, I was looking forward to that and I was not disappointed. Yes, there could have been more local cars, but all the international cars that came out, very good. Yes, it's a downgrade from 2023 when they raced there, but still very good. Trans Am, also good. But what I'd do, I'd move the combine, either move or add on the TA2 combined round like they did at Bathurst. Plus, you've got more spread out room. Well, when it comes to runoff, Bathurst when they did this was utter fucking chaos. Do it at Tailem Bend, yes, you've got the dive bomb thing at turn 1, but there's so much runoff room, you're going to have less likely of a safety car and more laps. And finally, what would I add when it comes to these two events? Open wheel stuff. Open wheelers are suited to this track. AU3, bring them out on a supercar support bill, show off the young kids wanting to go overseas. Aussie Superbikes, always a success when it's on a support bill for supercars. Even I watch that, and I'm honestly not the biggest fan of bikes. I know some of the riders that are in this series. Carrera Cup is always still good, but combine it with the Asia series. They did this years ago at Sydney Motorsport Park, do it at Tailem Bend. I mean, one of the owners races in the series, so surely he can pull the Asia teams, or some of the Asia teams, if not all of them, to Australia for this event. And finally, GT4 Australia. This is a personal preference of mine. I love GT4 Australia. It's one of my favourite categories racing right now, and it should be on the support bill. Hell, GT3 is sometimes on the support bill. Why not GT4? So that is my review of everything outside of the racing for the Bend 500. We've got 3 more years of this event. I want it to succeed because Tailem Bend looks like a fun track to drive, but anything outside of that is a bit naff. So I want to push that up a bit. If you like this video and you want to see more, give a like and subscribe. The support would be very much appreciated. Follow me on all my socials on these ones, and see you in the next video, whatever that is.